C2F technology is a new and exciting method of converting chrome-guided smile cases. C2F allows the doctor to create small, exact holes through the prosthetics on the day of surgery. C2F also creates MUA-level master casts, an extraoral conversion, quicker surgery time, and stronger prosthetics due to smaller holes, with preserved, pre-designed occlusion.
The next step in the C2F process is to capture the bite. And this is where we deviate a little bit from the normal chrome protocols. The prosthetic does not have holes all the way through it. They will be created extraorally. But in order to do that, we have to capture the bite registration. So the prosthetic is seated on the carrier guide. The carrier guide, of course, is in the proper position, and we'll put the patient in the correct bite. Now the patient, of course, is lying back, which is never a good position to take a bite, but we practiced and we put the patient in the correct bite, and she repeated and she practiced, and then we used a blue mousse material. In this case, the blue mousse was not ready to be used. It was already exposed and cured a little bit, so we put another tip on. And in this situation, you want the prosthetic to be held down against the carrier guide. You do not want to push the teeth into occlusion. We want to capture the bite. We don't want to capture all the teeth in occlusion, unless, of course, that's coincidental and they are both in occlusion. However, we want to make sure that the prosthetic is seated and that it's down on the carrier guide, and you can check that. Just pull the lips back a little bit and look. So once it's set, this is I think just a 30-second seat time with blue mousse, and remove it, and now we have the bite. We take the bite, take the prosthetic, and take it back in the lab, and now all the metal, everything can be removed.
This video will cover the C2F conversion back in the doctor's laboratory. That is the prosthetic with the bite, obviously. That is the C2F model and articulator, the rapid appliance that was just picked up, and the C2F componentry. And there are more components than this, and you'll see those throughout this video. So these are the parts that are sent to the office. The first step is to add the C2F analogs to the rapid appliance so that we can put them in the model. So in this case there are 6, and you'll just use the gold screws that are included in the C2F assembly. So we always send the entire assembly, the analog, the hollow analog, the MUA, the gold screw, and the temp copings that will go into the long-term prosthetic. Now you'll notice with this, the trajectories are not going to allow it to be seated. This is planned. These are trajectories of the implants, and so therefore, the trajectories of the MUAs, of the analogs. So it's pretty normal that they're not going to seat. So just remove 1 or 2 of the divergent ones, then it'll seat, and it'll seat on the pegs that are exact reproduced positions as they are in the mouth. That is how the rapid appliance seats. You see the analogs are floating in the holes, but the prosthetic seats on the carrier guide pegs. Now you'll come through from the intaglio with the remaining C2F analogs, and this model is a little thick. We've made the models much thinner now so that your fingers can grab the analogs when you're screwing in the prosthetic screws. Now remember, again, you always want to use the gold screws. As the system develops, we will have a screw that is compatible with all the implant MUAs on the market, but for now it's just a gold screw. So now that they are in the model, you hold the rapid appliance down firmly while you backfill around the C2F analogs. So now we are essentially making a master cast. See that? Just backfill the wells. If the wells are real large, you'll find that the material is going to flow. It could even flow underneath. You can use some blockout. Otherwise, just incrementally build up until that full well is, till the well is full. Some of the material will leak underneath, which means that when you unscrew the prosthetic, it may still be somewhat bonded to the model. And that's okay. Just make sure all the screws are out. Then you can wedge the two apart with a knife. Pretty simple process. Just be sure all the screws are out. And there we go. Now we have our master cast. And the next step is to, in this video, the next step is to equilibrate. Some technicians will want to put the analogs back on and go ahead and connect the prosthetic. But in this video, we assembled, we articulated, and we equilibrated. So we have everything we need, right? We send the opposing, this is a single arch. We send the opposing, and you take a bite, put the hinge on that we supply. You can see the back of the C2F models already accommodate a vertex articulator. Put some accelerant, and then in just a few seconds it's ready to go. And you'll find this reproduces the bite very, very well. The patient had a slight overjet and a little bit of, anterior open bite. But that is a very quick reproduction of. All right, so we all know these steps. These steps are very simple. Equilibration. Alright, so just do that as many times until you've really refined the occlusion. Now, it may be argued that it's better to do this after the prosthetic is already converted, but that could be a judgment call. So now you use a small hex tool and you remove the C2F MUAs. Okay, remove all the MUAs from the model. And then what you're left with is a model with, in this case, 6 holes. Now you can trim away some of the resin flash, or not, as long as the prosthetic is seating passively. Then there it is. And then you simply drill through. So this drill is included with the kit. And that is how we make the small holes. All right, very, very simple process, not complicated at all. So now that what we need to do next is put the MUAs on with temp copings and attach them, lute them to the prosthetic. So the prosthetic is just going to be roughened up a little bit. This is optional. It's going to be roughened up. And he's just like a pig in mud. And all the MUAs are on. Clean it up a little bit, and then cleaning it up, and then putting some monomer in the wells for obviously for a good bonding between the stellar material or whatever resin you use, or Voco. Bonding agent's always helpful.
Just making the surface clean.
But it's monomer.
It is monomer, yeah. But
With this technique, maybe.
Okay, now with this system, we have already cut down the temp copings. You could see there they were a little bit rough. We did it chair side, but we put the copings on, you put the gaskets on, so you block out because you don't want to lock the prosthetic down, and then oops, don't put that material in yet. You want to block out the top of the temp copings. Now you can do it down inside if you want, but then you're going to have to drill to expose the top of the temp coping. So we include some metal cylinders with each case to block out. These are screws, but you'll see that it kind of changes. It's going to change over the years as we produce better things that fit down in those occlusal holes. But block it out and then simply backfill all the wells. All right. Some techs will want to have a port on the labial and the lingual. That's okay. We will send the prosthetic with lingual ports. and then just simply grab a pair of pliers, maybe rangiers, probably pliers, and then just twist and remove them. They're going to have a little bit of acrylic on the tip, or whatever material on the tip of them, so they could hold them in a little bit, bonding them to the top of the temp coping. But once you remove them, then you'll find that the channel goes all the way down to the temp coping.
Yes. Welcome to the greatest prosthetic ever made. All right, the case is done, and this is the C2F conversion. So what we have here is an articulated case. We have an analog model that'll be used for the final prosthetic. And we have a case that's already been equilibrated outside the mouth. And now we're going to do just a final delivery. You can see small hole technology, and the bite's perfect.
Just to get the screws out.
Make sure everything's clean. Very important for
Okay,
seating.
there's voids at the base of the temporary cylinders. So I'm going to take some stellar resin and fill that in to seal it and clean it up, and it's ready to go in the mouth.
So there's a couple different ways of doing this. The most important part is that there are no voids down inside around those temp copings. We want there to be a perfect, very good bond between the copings and the prosthetic.
And then just backfill. Of course, it's important to get the material way down inside. And then you really don't want to ramp up too much around.
Leave the collar of the temporary cylinder visible if you can.
Yeah, because you don't want to have to displace tissue when you seat this. I thought you make it more flush. And
Well, you got to go up that.
man's in charge.
All right, make sure you fill the holes where the carrier guide pegs are. All right, nice work. Maybe a little bit too much material around the necks.
Explorer.
And just remember, never start a chrome case without a very, very, very critical, important tool.
That was a little humor for you.
Well, it used to be way worse than this.
You just don't want to grind that pink off.
I won't. I'm just skimming the surface.
Just taking the stellar off.
Grind snot.
I'll ask doctors not to layer all that stuff under there, because you guys it takes a lot of skill to grind that stuff away from the temp cylinder without hitting the temp cylinder. Not that a doctor isn't skilled, but why put yourself through that? You know? It's some delicate work right here.
These doctors go in and do filming.
You're saying dentists have high skills?
Mess with margins, and so this is child's play.
Well, when I do my conversion,
What's the crown look like?
Like a regular thing. Oh, yeah.
Single crown, it looks like a stud.
Just like the habit choice.
what's it called?
Habit choice.
How do you spell that?
ABBOT.
Oh, habit. But it's just, you're just polishing?
Well, I'm actually refining the acrylic around the collar.
But when you're hitting the facial of it, it's polishing it?
Yeah, it doesn't hurt it at all.
Adjuster and polisher. Abbott.
ABBOT. We have them by the thousand in the lab.
Can you roast it back to the camera again? You can go right over the metal and everything, doesn't
Oh yeah, it
matter.
doesn't hurt it.
Wow.
That's why I like it. It finishes acrylic a little bit too, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I will add some
Joe, this is no time for drinking.
add some glaze and hit it with a light. Actually, this was nice. We hit it with the doctor's headlamp. Took a little bit longer, but got the glaze cured. And then clean the prosthetic, and then off we go to delivery.
Yeah, you throw it in the trash.
I left a lot of the audio in so that you could hear the interaction between the technician, the dentist, me.
Yeah, nothing specific if we're not.
All right, so this prosthetic is just seated, and then we're going to put a couple of screws in and have the patient bite down.
Like pencil roll.
The seating appointment was just brilliant. Literally no adjustment in the mouth.
How's it feel?
It feels fine.
How about a cheese and a couple of bites?
Smile pretty.
Yeah, say cheese. How about cheese?
Gee.
Cheese. And then can you bite together with your lips apart a little bit? It'll be, yeah.
You know what? Put your tongue, tip of your tongue, as far back in the roof of your mouth as you can, and bite.
Yeah. There it is.
Yep.
There it is. And then a smile. Okay.
Bite down.
Wow, that is perfect. No adjustment in the mouth. That's nice.
That's good, kid.
Boom, 15.
20 years, 16 years.
What a nice prosthetic.
Just perfect.
Now, of course, we have the
plan.
rapid and a master model that we can put that in the mouth in 6 months. We'll have to refine it a little
all the
bit.
surfaces either. Wherever it needs it, I'll do it. Where it doesn't need
We just completed a chrome guided smile surgery. It was Dr. Straka's first full chrome, but not working with our metal guides. And on the right is Dr. Conroy, who is Dr. Straka's referral. And maybe just briefly, Dr. Straka, how did today go with chrome?
Using the surgical guides really as it was worked out with our lab tech, Joe Ambrose, and virtually planning the case, it really went, as I could see, as planned. And using the guides are user-friendly. It's predictable. You have a lot of trust in the plan with the guides. Every step of the way is kind of back-checked. Guides are easy to use, easy to handle. I thought it just gives you more confidence during the surgery that the final product, the position of the implants will be very close, if not right on target to where you had planned them virtually.
And then as a team, the surgery stopped with implants for Dr. Straka, and then Dr. Conroy put the abutments in temp cylinders and took over from there. How did that process go?
Very, very smooth. The alignment was right on key, and no issues putting them in. Everything went really smooth. So it was alignment was just how it was planned, which made the whole job easier for everybody.
Great, excellent. And then this was our first C2F surgical system that we documented. And the nice thing is that the patient went home with very small holes in the prosthetic, and we now have a master model to make a final. We have a rapid appliance as a backup, and then the prosthetic conversion will be simple, right? You'll just simply send us the patient's prosthetic.
Exactly. Yeah, everything lines up. It's almost like having a duplicate, perfect, that fits exactly how it should. So take one out, put the other one in, send it to you. Should have a final prosthesis very smoothly.
Yeah. I think chrome guided smile will work out fine. This surgery. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.